Hello, good people of YouTube. My name is Nathan, and today in this video we'll be talking about the Golden State Warriors. I'm pretty sure you saw on the other pages looking at the payrolls, because in this video we'll be talking about the future of the Warriors. I know this is kind of late, but the Warriors season did end kind of disappointingly in a play-in loss to the Sacramento Kings, our NorCal rival. And yeah, there's a lot of questions that I think everybody has, including me as a fan. And I think I have a pretty good idea based on what I've heard, read, and what I think could happen, right? I'm by no means I am not a fortune teller. I can't predict the future, like, for sure, but think I have a good sense of what's going to happen. So let's get into it. So as I'm making the video, congrats to Brendan Pozensky. He earned all rookie first team honors, and I think this is going to change how I think the Warriors are going to approach the offseason. There's two ways I think the Warriors can go about. One, I think they're going to definitely bring back Klay Thompson. Not on a $40 million contract. We're not giving him like a $35 million max. We're not giving him that. What I've heard, and I think it's reasonable, is give him the $20 to $25 million contract per season for I think 3 years, right? Matching up with everybody, matching up, seeing it. Um, for 3 years, $75 million. I think that's a pretty good number. And maybe if he wants four, okay, yeah, maybe like five for $100 million. I think that's okay. He's a shooter, right? Yeah. We saw in Sacramento he was terrible, but shooters are going to have some really bad moments, and that was his really bad moment. But he's been fantastic in many other moments, so I think we still got to give it to him. Um, so with that Klay Thompson out of the way, Chris Paul. If the Warriors decide to run it back and cash it all in and make the most of Steph Curry's prime, which I think they're going to do, they're going to keep Chris Paul or trade Chris Paul, right? Take his contract and pair it up with like Jonathan Kuminga or Brent Pozensky, right? Even though Brent Pozensky just got like all rookie first team honors. Yeah, either we cash in the young guys, take Chris Paul's contract, cash in for like a mega or all star, right? Like Kevin Durant. That's a name that's floated around, but I could see Kevin Durant coming back, right? I would take Kevin Durant, right? I don't know about you guys, but I would take it over Chris Paul and John Kuminga. I would take it over. I would take that. Obviously, you're giving up picks too. It's Kevin Durant you're getting, right? Or we're getting DeMar DeRozan, or we're getting some other all stars like Mikal Bridges, right, out of Brooklyn. But we're getting somebody who's good. Yeah, it's good. It's better if they're younger too. Or the other option, which I can also see, is we just let this be like a farewell tour kind of thing, where, and this has been mentioned on the radio in the Bay Area, but it's like, okay, we're just gonna run it back, but they're going to be competitive, but they're not going to be like contenders kind of thing. I think I would like to believe that Steph Curry will make us a contender, but he can't do everything anymore. He can't drop 35 points a game consistently. I mean, he has that capability. He just it because of fatigue and how tiring it can be. I don't think he can drop 35 points per game. Klay Thompson, I think he'll average about 15 points per game next 2 seasons if he comes back and when he comes back. Chris Paul, he's just going to be he's going to be running the bench. Maybe he'll average like maybe 8 points and maybe like 6 assists. Andrew Wiggins, okay. Andrew Wiggins, I don't know. Both plans I could see Andrew Wiggins get moved because he's not a bust. He's not a bust. But he's definitely not worth the $26 million we're paying him. Or 28 million eventually. because God, like this year, he's been pretty bad. He's been worse, right? I'll say that. He needs to go back up to his efficiency, production, and his defensive presence, right? What people used to pick him in like fantasy, and I know fantasy value doesn't equate to real life value, but people used to say to me, "Oh, I picked Andrew Wiggins because over somebody because well, he gives you at least a steal or a block per night, and he's efficient and he gets rebounds." We need to see that kind of Andrew Wiggins. We need efficiency, we need defense, and we need rebounds. I get the whole family situation that really bothered him, but I mean, we really need him to do that. Draymond Green, he's just going to put up triple singles, but his triple singles plus like his defensive stuff and his high IQ passing is just going to his veteran leadership, everything as a leader. He's going to help make the Warriors still good, right? One thing he can work on and needs to do better on for sure is the whole technical fouls, flagrant fouls, getting into trouble, throwing arms, throwing hands. He needs to stop doing that so that he can stay on the court more and help us win games. Gary Payton, I think he stays. He's great defensively. Kevon Looney, I think this guy gets traded. I'm not saying that the Warriors need a better center, and Kevon Looney is too short to compete with the athletic, skinny bigs like Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren. We need someone who's 7 feet tall at least, can move, and can defend the paint. Kevon Looney can't do that. He can come off the bench, but then you have Trace Jackson Davis, which I'd rather have off coming off the bench than Kevon Looney. Someone who can move, someone who can jump high, can block shots. He's great. Darius Saunders, he's not coming back. Brandon Pozenchi, the young guys, they only come back if the Warriors are like, okay, we're just running it back and we're just trying to rebuild for the future at the same time. So like maybe like trading Andrew Wiggins and Chris Paul, or dropping Chris Paul's contract next season for I don't know draft capital, or maybe like for some younger player from a win now team. Those are just two options. Either we go all in or we build for the future and we just have a retirement party that lasts several years for Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green, and Chris Paul, maybe. Depending on if Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins don't get traded. I think they do because they're not really worth 30 million or 26 million or 28 million anymore. Those are my thoughts. I think the Warriors dynasty has ended. Someone over the radio said this, and I think it was a good picture of where the Warriors are at now. Last year we were a fringe playoff team. This year we were a fringe play-in team as a 10 seed, and we didn't even get our lottery pick at 14 because it went to Portland Trailblazers. We This dynasty is over, and if you're asking the business side of me, I would say blow it up and trade and just build for the future. Because Steph Curry's old, Draymond Green's getting older. Like they're still great. They're just father time. You have no idea what regression is going to look like, right? Klay Thompson is getting older. You don't know what it's going to look like. Chris Paul is definitely old. You don't know what regression is going to look like. Fatigue, physical endurance. It's problems, right? That's just going to keep coming up. I think I wouldn't, if you're asking the business side of me, not the fan side, I'm trading at least Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins, and maybe retooling to fit Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, like giving them a defensive wing if Andrew Wiggins can't do that anymore. The fan side of me wants to see it run it back because Draymond Green was And well, he was out. He didn't play because of the whole like he's smacking, like putting Rudy Gobert in the choke lock or punching Yusuf Nurkic. I think running back the fan side of me and retool a little bit to get ready for next season. The business side of me wants me to blow it up and move for the future because Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, definitely Chris Paul are all getting older or are old already. And the West, I mean, as we're looking at the playoffs right now, the rest of the West is younger and has retooled themselves to be competitive, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, and for sure the OKC Thunder, right? The Mavs. I, there's conflict in fans, and I think there's also conflict in the organization because these are really hard decisions to make when you're talking about, oh, I want to deal this person for this person, or I don't want to extend Klay Thompson. It's really hard to make those calls. That's my opinion about the Warriors' future and what's going to happen in the offseason. I hope we do go back to the playoffs next year. It all depends on what happens next year, though. But that's all I have to say, and have a good day.